and welcome to the first edition of Referee Corner here on IslandStats.com. Another season of football is underway, and I have with me today three members of the Bermuda Referees Association that took part in the CONCACAF Under 15 tournament earlier this year. First of all, welcome to all of you. And give us a sense. Well, first of all, let me let you all introduce yourselves, as many people may or may not know who you are. So we'll start off with you, Clinton.
Clinton Bill.
Alana King.
Stephen Mabry.
Well, obviously, we'll start with the young lady first, Alana. Let's talk a little bit about the tournament. What were you expecting before, and did it meet your expectations once you arrived?
Okay, so I always wanted to attend the CONCACAF Under 15 tournament. When I got there, it really met my expectations. I know it's like the Junior World Cup, and you treat it as a World Cup. It's like professional, get here on time, check the teams. The players were actually very disciplined. They did their warm-ups. They actually followed the protocol in terms of the running times just before the games, and we started on time most time. All the games started at the same time.
Clinton, obviously, you spent time officiating here. How would you compare the difference between officiating in Bermuda and that Under 15 tournament?
It's a big difference. Memories out there now, good people, and the downfall about there is they start 12 years old. To us, this is like a part-time job, just something to do in our school time.
Is it more of a challenge when you're dealing with such a young age starting?
Well, actually, to be quite honest, even though they're younger, I think the quality out there was 100% better than it was at home.
And Stefan, for you, it's you're well on the way of understanding a lot more when you first started. Talking to you, understanding that your knowledge is growing. Do you feel comfortable when selected to go? I know you always say it's an honor to go. Do you feel like you deserve these call-ups?
Oh, definitely. To think otherwise would be disrespectful to my craft. Take a lot of pride in this, so I definitely feel ready when I get these call-ups and these opportunities. I definitely feel it's warranted, and I'm ready for it. I put a lot of practice into my craft. I put a lot of studying into it, a lot of training, a lot of work goes into my craft, because that's what it is to us. It's our craft. It's what we do. So yeah, I definitely feel ready for it. I'm prepared for it. I'm constantly studying, constantly training. So I'm always ready for the opportunity, and I feel like the opportunities are warranted.
Right. Alana, how challenging was it for you to get prepared for this? Because it's a step up, and obviously they're looking for you to be in shape, understand the rules, be able to deliver, all that. So how did you manage to prepare for it?
So in preparation, came with a lot of discipline in terms of training at least 2, 3, 4 times a week. Sometimes I train twice a day. You do some strength training, and then you would do your technical training. You still have your fitness work to do. Because the difference was that it was summertime, and the conditions were a lot different. So here in Bermuda, yes, Bermuda is hot, but we had the heat and the rain at the same time. These fields were of good quality. However, they held a lot of water. They were spongy, so you can't say, well, I'm not going to referee on this field today. You had to step up to wherever you were placed. So preparation-wise, it came with a lot of, discipline. Sometimes you get tired. Okay, not going to train today. Then when you lay down, you're telling yourself, okay, is that little man on your shoulder knocking? Remember, your ultimate goal is under 15. This is Junior World Cup, and you have to be up to the plate. You have to step up to the plate. So the discipline coming from summertime, it's kick back, relax time.
Yes.
But being disciplined enough to get up there. I train both morning and evenings. I would train 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I would train a lot later down grade schooler
Hmm.
because I was actually home in Barbados. So the conditions are not in Barbados, it's a lot cooler, the humidity is not outside. So what I had to do is try to do some training at actually 11 and 12 o'clock
Hmm.
and try to train around the game time so that the heat, it will be comparable to what we would be exposed to.
Clinton, when your first game, what message did the referee give you before going out to officiate that first game? Because obviously, just like players, you're nervous as well, aren't you?
Not really. I've been around football for a number of years. The only thing is you're trying to update the rules and regulations of the game. But a lot of the refs out there basically tell you, yes, you gotta know your rules, apply them, but really and truly it's out there to have fun and learn at the same time. And that's exactly what I got to do. To have fun watching the different quality of football from different nations and whatever. So, I was just there having fun and learning as much as I can and taking
That message, what did the ref say to you guys as you're getting ready to do that?
have fun. Have fun.
Stefan, for you, you also have that opportunity to get that message from a referee. What was your referee's message? Because you guys go out as a team, so obviously he's got something to say before you guys
Yeah,
start.
we actually put a lot into our pregame talks here in
Hmm.
Bermuda. So it was very comparable to some of the pregame talks we had here in Bermuda. Obviously, it's a larger scale, but we still ran over a lot of the important things. And it was nice to know that you had like a few minutes of opportunity to build that chemistry with your referee
Hmm.
before each game. So we talk about priority areas where the referee wants you to take charge and make a call,
Hmm.
and where you want to wait for them first. Just making sure that our chemistry stays the same right there, so we're not crossing signals. Um, Things that the referee may want you to pay attention to more than different referees. My first game actually, we met the night before, so we knew who our officials were for that game.
Right.
We met the night before at the hotel. We ran over our pre-game the night before. Um, so it's detailed, but credit to Bermuda, it's the same her, which is one of the things that was right about Bermuda officiating that was comparable to out there.
Okay. And Alana, after your first game, obviously the monkey's off your back. You had that opportunity to be out in the middle to get the feel of it. What was the message from the officiating team to each other after your first game?
After our first game, all the officials, there was 80 of us coming together. We met in person, so some of them didn't speak your language or native language. The English was not as good as it's supposed to be, but at least it was still standard where you could understand. After the first game, everyone was like, okay, well done.
Right.
We did, and we represented our country as well. We represented the refereeing associations from different areas, and this is why we were selected to be here.
When you guys get a call up and the chairman says, "Oh, you've been selected to officiate a under 15 tournament," like you say, it's a youth World Cup for the region, and what goes through one's mind because it's got to be an excitement and an honor. So how do you feel about that?
Like, it gave me great pleasure, first of all. It was a dream come true, so for me, it was like, super cool. Like, I've been working towards this, and I was really pleased with the officials here as well for continually pushing me, bringing in the other officials, Rohan and Victor, they came in, they worked with us, they brought us in to prepare us and get us all ready. So being there, going through those stats, sometimes you're tired, like I said, but you're still pushing through. When he told me that we've been accepted, because you're able to be nominated, anyone can be nominated, but then you had to be selected. That selection, it brought tears to my eyes, tears of joy, and I was really, really grateful to be able to showcase, what all that I've been training and working towards.
Our season has started. What are some of the things you've brought back to help implement with your fellow officials here that could possibly help them? Because when you go internationally, you kind of learn different things, different strategies from other people in other regions. So what have you guys brought back that could possibly help the association here, or your members here, to ensure that the officiating level stays at a high rate?
So for me, while I was out there, I was taking notes, and when I came home, I created like a PowerPoint presentation for myself on the stuff that I learned while I was out there, and I shared that with some of the local officials here. There are things out there that they want you to put into practice that is in addition to the laws. So the law says X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
and that's standard. That has to be done. That
Right.
can't deviate.
Right.
But then there are additional practices that they want you to do. For example, I'll just give you one example. The ball's come from the middle of the field, it's come off a player, you know who it's come off of, and it's given out of play. They actually want you to beat that ball out of play. Even though there's no other decision, the decision to be made, you already know it's going out of play, there's nobody else running for it, they still want you running down, beating that ball out of play. That information is more important to others who are looking for the same opportunities that we're looking for, because when they go out there, they know what CONCACAF is looking for in addition to the laws.
Mm-hmm.
So I shared that with my colleagues who are looking for the same opportunities so that they can practice that throughout the season. Because that's not something that's required. It's not something that's in the law.
Right.
You don't know that that's what they're looking for until you go out there.
Mhm.
So I shared different things like that so that myself and my colleagues can practice those things throughout the season.
Let me ask you, did they explain why? Is that to keep you involved in the game, to keep your sharpness, or is that just that's a practice they want you to continue?
Yes, a lot of it, some of it is aesthetics. It looks better,
Mm-hmm.
like following the ball through, things like that. It looks better to beat the ball out of play like that.
Clinton, you bring back stuff. You're now into the season. Is the game here? Well, it wasn't on the 15 tournament, but you still have to ask: is the game here slower or faster in our senior division as opposed to what you were up against over there?
Certain games was same pace, but a lot of the games was a lot faster than what we were football.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was more organized football than because there is a lot of kicking around.
Mm-hmm.
They like to use the pace. Out there, it's possession. The possession, pass it on, tie out it up there. So focus out there was key. And I'm trying to do it here. It's not like I said, the level is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harder to keep full focus here than it is out there.
So when you say keep focus, what are you telling yourself as the game's going on? Because there are times in the game, anywhere, where the ball's not in your half for a 5 minute period where you can actually shut off. So what are you guys, what is it you're telling yourself to make sure that you stay in the game? I know a lot of you look across to make sure you're still in line, but then after a while, if they stand in the have a half, what do? You kind of,
In my head, me personally, what I do now, ever since I came back, because that was one of my main problems when I was out there, is like we could tell that you was losing focus in the game like you was bored.
mm-hmm.
So what I say is I'm trying to get feet focused, so I keep that in my head, feet focused. So I try to stay focused and know that my goal at the end of the day is to get feet focused.
Right.
So I have to stay focused in the game. So start and whistle to the end of the game.
Right. You were going to say something, sir?
No, I was saying in those situations where the ball's in the opposite half, you're still watching. Another point that they were talking about out there was that you can actually help the referee in that, hey, you've called X amount of fouls on X team, and you've only called X amount for the other team, like giving that feedback. So you're still watching everything, so you know the way the game's progressing. So you can share that information. So you should constantly be analyzing what's going on, even when you don't have a decision to make. It could even be a case of, because a player can't be offside from a goal kick, so it could be a case of, man, was that goal kick or open play?
Right.
So you have to be focused on what's going on in the opposite half, because what goes on in that opposite half still affects the decisions you have to make
Right.
in your own half. So you're constantly analyzing what's going on.
Right. Alana, as a female, do you think women with a flag and a whistle are getting respected much more nowadays?
Yeah, I think the respect and the level where we're actually accepted as officials, because I think before they used to say, okay, all right, yeah, maybe we are short harassed, so get someone who's actually looking. But now the level of respect is increasing. You find we have persons who actually are passing men's fitness tests. We had women's team in one of the finals in the Premier League.
Right.
So like I'm glad that we're actually being seen as no neutral, well not fully neutral, but we're on the same level as the guys, and we will continue to push ourselves and make the best of it, because CONCACAF is looking for all the teams to work final, any kind of final at some point.
But let me ask you, because just recently this year, yeah, they had the Women's World Cup, where a lot of females were officiating, dominating that, and then we had a female team do the European Championships, was it?
There
Or
was the
They,
or
I think it was the Saints.
no, it was the winner of Champions League and
right. So I mean, when you start seeing that, does that give you the aspiration of winning that new challenge?
it's just try
Yeah.
to keep pushing, knowing that opportunity, because most of the time you see the women in the preliminary matches, but then you would always know that final or semi-final goes to the very.
Hmm.
But now that we have the opportunity to actually be able to step up to do a final, it gives me drive and passion to keep pushing, because one day we're going to do actual World Cup final or a semi-final game, it doesn't matter. But beyond that main stage,
Right. When you hear from the chairman and others around the association, and you guys want to get on that list, putting a team of people within the officials in the region, all you guys are young enough to accomplish that, but it's going to take a lot of work. And it's going to take a lot of pulling, because you're going to have people pushing you guys, and you're going to have to pull them along as well. So are you all in it for that long haul? Because it could be challenging at times, and you have families, you have other things to do outside of football. So are you prepared for that long haul?
yeah.
I feel like that's the path we're on. If we continue to progress as we're progressing, I feel like it's a matter of when, not if. I feel like officiating in Bermuda is now rapidly going in the right direction. A lot of that's Cranston and a lot of the officials, like they've all understood that there are bigger things to be done, and they're constantly pushing, and you're not going to get everybody at that level. I mean, right now we only have Deshaun on the FIFA list, but the next crop is larger crop than when Deshaun went. From what I've known, there's only at one point only Deshaun and Gussie pushing for that. Now you've got a crop of three plus two or three more right behind us. So the crop is larger and trending in the right direction. So it's only a matter of time before we have multiple people at that level.
Do you guys stay in touch with the officials that you officiated with over in the under 15 tournament, just to get a sense of what they're doing now to ensure that you could possibly be doing the same things to improve, whether it's fitness, knowledge of the game?
I stay in touch, actually up to yesterday, as they call my dinner frame. But at the tournament, we were moving from different tables.
Hmm.
They tried to align us so we would sit together, but they wanted us to
Mingle with others, right?
and meet with others. So
Hmm.
just having that these two guys, every table I moved to, they were there with me. So only last time I was talking to them, and he was telling me that their rapport is coming up, their training, and I was just asking like, what are you doing? If you change anything, how's your report? Have you improved from your report? We were just getting some feedback as to how it was. They're from Cayman,
Mhm.
But similar to how I am representing Bermuda, they're not from Cayman, but they're representing Cayman.
Mhm.
And it also is a good pleasure, it's a great pleasure to be representing the country that you're actually in. And as he said to me, he's still working hard at those little things which the report would have said.
Mhm.
And we're looking to go back to the under 15 and everybody trying to move from there and be on the list together as a team.
Well, I want to say thank you very much. I hope that you guys are successful in the next go around. I know it's a lot of work that you guys have been putting in. You've had the what I would consider the experts in to give you the run over. Just stay tuned, stay focused, keep up the hard work, and I think you'll get your reward in the very near future.
Okay.
All right. We're going to be joined by the chairman of the referees, Mr. Cranston Williams, in just a minute. But come on in, young man. You have there's always someone that's driving those that want to be driven to success. And Mr. Williams, you're one that constantly are driving these young people. A new season's upon us. You've gotten some new faces, but there's still that challenge of needing more. Um, when you look at the numbers you have now and the possibility of more international duty, it must be one of those good things but nervous things because your numbers are not where you want them to be. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, for me, I was very proud that this year, after hiatus of 2 years, we actually had 3 persons that were selected to go to the tournament. The reports we received, it's going very well, and the plan is to get them back there next year. We had a rep course recently, September 12th to the 17th. Out of that course, we now have another 5 youngsters, the age of 14 to 17. So once again, we have people coming, but it's the age. So unfortunately, or fortunately, which way you look at it, we're gonna have those youngsters doing premiership and possible first division matches on the lawn. I plead every time with the Congress and you've heard me say, need more officials. More and more people seem to be coming for the youth games, but it's transitioned to the premier and first division where no matter how much you try, people just not. However, I did get a young lady, sorry, it was in the newspaper that she's brand new. Her goal is to be on the FIFA list. And she's never played football, so there is hope.
Mm. When starting out this journey of being the chairman, you challenged yourself as well as the president challenged you. You guys kind of laid down a gauntlet together. Um, when you set yourself goals, you have to push so many other people to make sure that those goals are met. But how much of a challenge has it been for you to accomplish your feat that now you have one, but you're looking to push 3, 4, 5 more?
Well, when I started, it was 2012, I think they dropped me in to become the chairman. When Mr. Grimes stepped down. That was Larry Musson, the president at the time.
Mhm.
He was always at every Congress. He needed somebody on the FIFA list because he would go to his president meetings for CONCACAF and he'd be like, I have to hold my head down because we don't have anybody. Then Mr. Wade took over, and luckily, Sashawn got on the list. Since which now Mr. Wade has made me go, so come back again. Okay, you accomplished one, now I need a team. He was like, I want a team of 4. I said, well, a team could be 2. He's like, no, 4. So it's one of those things where I always have to be constantly trying to plan things with these guys. Rohan and Victor now, the instructors from overseas, become my brothers. I just message them and say, listen, I need to come to Bermuda, and they're quick to avail. Brian Hall, very, very supportive. Mark Kane, Dave Miku, very extremely supportive. They've even said that in CONCACAF, Bermuda Football Association was the referee the most. So for me, that's something that I positively proud to hear. We do our best to give these referees whatever they need. The main thing is the fitness level, we're working on that. But now they train twice a week. And I guess as Mr. Zaguro says, I'm like the poster boy for referee because I go anywhere, anybody talks about it. If you have all that month, here's a whistle, here's a card, become a referee.
You talked about Victor and Rohan. They're here very often. What are some of the things that they've, especially in their last visit, because they also had the head honcho with them as well. What was the message as they left about the local referees here?
They said the standard is rising, but it's still work to do. Fitness is still our weakness. That's our kryptonite. They feel that the referee should be fitter than the actual players, and they should be fitting up to 120 minutes. We do realize people have jobs and have other lives, and also remember we play more football than most countries because you have the under 17 league, you have the expansion league, you have games on a Tuesday night, a Thursday night, Friday night, a Saturday, a Sunday. Ideally, like I said, it would have been nice to have 30 persons, but I don't have 30. So, like for example, we have double Eve on Wednesday. The team that does those matches might end up having a game on Saturday. They might have using a game on Sunday because I don't have the resources.
Right.
But all in all, everybody's happy. They know we try not to burn them out, but it's one of those things where the public and everybody else has to understand this is all right.
It's challenging because I was actually at a match, a Premier Division match yesterday, and to hear some of the abuse that the officials were taking, clearly, I'm one of those type of people. I couldn't do it because I'd have stopped the game and that'd have been it. You know, you can't tolerate that, and that's why I think you're struggling to get other people to come on board, which is always going to be that challenge. But helping to educate the clubs to ensure that they control those things for the game to continue. How much of that talk has to happen right away in order for you to be able to influence people to come out and officiate?
The officials have been told zero tolerance. The instructors have been getting around to the club and updating the players and the coaches on the lower amendments. As anything, people heard today, tomorrow the game, passion and emotions take over, and we know what comes up. But I challenge my officials all the time. I say, listen, you're in control of the game, so you determine pretty much how the game goes. So, you have the profanity and all the rest. It's some officials will tolerate certain things, others won't. Like you, I knew it wouldn't be me because I'm a school teacher by trade, so discipline is key. But at the same time, I do implore from the public, please be mindful. The person you're shouting at is somebody's son, husband, boyfriend, daughter, girlfriend, wife. So you wouldn't want anybody doing that to you. And the referees don't show up on a Sunday, then you don't have any football.
Right. In your talks over the summer months with the association, what are some of the things you have asked for in order to get more help in your department?
But the main thing is the schedule. Much so we don't like the Saturday matches, it kind of eases referees up because I'm very cognizant of the fact you can't have referees like burn them out. And I do have age to the referees. And then even when you have the youngsters, you don't want to push them too fast, too soon. So scheduling has been a big issue, and even with they have the expansion league, we have to train twice a week. So it's a matter of you ask someone to be out of the house, say 5 nights a week, is a big ask. It's a really big ask. So ideally, what I'd like to have in our Wax Association, we're going on a program to attract more people. So that's what the biggest thing has been. Mr. Bear's in charge of the marketing department along with Anton Augustus to try and create some different things to attract more people, and hopefully it will.
All right. Well, season's underway. You're 2 weekends in the league, and Dudley Eve is upon us as well. It's almost semi-final. Well, last round of league matches or group matches coming up on Wednesday, and then it's semi-final, final. In between that, Bermuda's playing twice, so it's a busy time for football. I want to wish you guys all the best this season.
Thank you very much.
And obviously we'll be doing weekly shows here on IslandStats.com with the referees, and I hope to see these guys back very soon talking about the call that they got to answer that call.
Thank you very much.
All right.
As always for listening.
No problem. Well, that's it with Referees Corner here on IslandStats.com, September 30th. Do enjoy the rest of the evening.